Good afternoon, my friends of Divine TV channel and Tri-Cities Community Television. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our program because today we had a special guest. Teresa Trask has been working to support women. When nobody was thinking about it, she started thinking about the woman that suffer and recover from addiction. Welcome, Teresa.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
So it's so beautiful that you start this society, Life Heaven. Tell me, what inspired you about the name and to start working with women?
Well, roughly 12 years ago, I'm a musician. You can see my trusty guitar here. Roughly 12 years ago, I was taking my guitar in to do some cathartic music with women that were both in recovery centers as well as the women's correctional facility. And in my time there, I was noticing this gap in the community. After women had completed addiction treatment, they were clean, feeling strong, feeling like they were ready to take life back on. But then, unfortunately, going back into the community where all of the same triggers and stressors exist that they had prior to going into that treatment facility, kind of came back up, and they just ended up falling back into their addiction to cope with those triggers and those traumas, and then ending back in recovery. So I would go from recovery house to recovery house, and I would see the same women showing up in different homes, and I just thought, I think that these women are just lacking a haven. When they go out and do life is hard and messy, as we all know. And I just felt like sometimes there's that missing piece of a safe place, a safety net. Some people have supportive families when they leave recovery. Some people have nothing. They're just all alone. Or worse, they have very unhealthy relationships that they're going back to. So I thought about that long and hard, and I thought, I want to create a haven from life, a little pocket of safety where women can come and get the support that they need to stay strong and continue in their recovery even once they're out into the community, and stop that loop. I wanted to interrupt that loop of going in and out of recovery, that revolving door.
That is so beautiful. So helping with your music and inspiring that people and supporting that people in that process, you were attached to them and you say, I wanted to support and be part of the solution, creating that heaven for them. Not just in that moment with your music, out there too. Yes, exactly. So getting now, 10 years later, you have this amazing location.
I know.
And you're welcome people, and you grow, and you're helping all people around the Fraser Valley here in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this?
As I sit in this room, I do want to just do a little shout out to Calvin Bolt, who owns Kingston Flooring. This is the building that we're in here in Abbotsford. This is our physical presence. However, we, through the power of Zoom and telephone and email, we do work with women all through the Fraser Valley, the Greater Vancouver area, some women that have moved back to different provinces and even as far as the States, and we just continue to provide supports to women. But this office space is central here in Abbotsford, and throughout COVID, we've actually had the space to do our essential service and continue our counseling and carry on business. We can't have groups yet, but our women have been coming, especially the women that are very isolated right now in a real significant way due to COVID. They have a place they can come, and even though we wear our masks, we can still see each other's eyes and feel that connection, that humans need that one-to-one connection. It's super important.
It's a big place and so beautiful. Thank you to all the sponsors, all the owners, business owners. You were telling me so excited how the plumbers, the people in the store donate so many things for this to look that beautiful and create that heaven for the ladies that are coming. So thank you to all of you that are supporting this society. And of course, if you feel that you wanted to continue to supporting and bring more, you need to go and check the website.
Lifehaven.ca, yes. And for women who are struggling and for families of women who are struggling, please go to our website and send a message. I'll get that message, and we can connect and provide those supports for you, for sure.
Yes, so something that I love is how music can heal the soul. Yes. Do you mind if you share that beautiful song that you were mentioning that you create? Please, I would love the people to connect more about how when you're in that place, you really need that hand that can reach out.
Yeah, I think that the biggest isolating factor is the feeling of not being known or seen. And I think a lot of women that we work with, and I know it's the case for men as well, we don't work with men in recovery at this time, we hope to down the road. It's that feeling of not ever seeing the sunshine again, so to speak, feeling that cloud over you that no one sees or even knows how terrible you're feeling. And so, yeah, I often write my songs. I'll hear these stories. Some of the stories I hear, no one should ever have to speak those stories, and no ear should ever have to hear. They're just so traumatic, and the human story can be really beautiful. It can be really painful. So for me, a cathartic way for me to deal with some of the pain that I carry around for some of the women that I work with is to write songs that then hopefully inspire them. And I do little concerts for the women in their recovery homes, and it just lifts their spirit to know that there is a sunshine coming at the end of the clouds.
Honestly, I love music, and I believe music has that special power for us. And it's a way that we can heal and express our feelings. So many times we don't have the words, and through music we heal. Yes. And we can just enjoy, listen, cry, be happy, dance. So I will invite you to share your music with us today, and especially that song.
I would love to. It's called Lift Me Up. And for anyone who's feeling a little bit lost and alone, like you're wandering in the wilderness right now, the sun will shine on you again. And hopefully this song encourages you. Walking alone through this wilderness, I know I can't possibly do this on my own, on my own. Give courage to these weak and knees, comfort this heart in desperate need. Let me rest here for a while.
I love it. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing your beautiful song. What a way to say and heal people is using that sensibility through music. I think it's great. So thank you, Teresa, for sharing. I love the sun.
Just those words of, sometimes feeling that that sun's never going to shine, just to be encouraged that the sun will shine again on your face, and you will feel the warmth of just being loved and loving and caring for others, having them care for you. That's just humans getting through life together, and that's really what Life Haven is all about for women struggling with addiction, just having those supports like counseling, providing workshops for doing a resume, interview skills. Sometimes when you've had huge gaps in your resume because of an illness, the disease of addiction, that creates an insecurity, even if you have good experience on your resume. And so just teaching women to know that that's not who they are, that doesn't define them. Addiction does not define you. It's who you become once you know yourself and you get empowered to be who you always wanted to be. And for some women, they don't even know what that is. And so just needing that therapy and mentorship and counseling and community supports. We refer women to supports in the community that would help them to grow and just become a stronger person and successful in life.
Yes, but also, as you say, we need that support in our
Yes.
society to get through and to make it and be possible for us to work.
Yeah, and to feel like you're on the fringes of a community or of society in general is not a good feeling. To feel that you don't belong or you don't fit. And just needing a group of people to surround you, that get your struggle and help you to find your place, because we all have a place. We're all born with something to give to the community. And just knowing that is hard when you've been beaten down by life and by addiction. And so.
But it's no point for us to judge.
Yeah, I think judgment is a big problem for people that struggle with addiction, because especially if they've gone in and out of recovery, just feeling like they failed their family or they failed themselves or their partner or their children, and to feel that sense of this is just who I am and I'm no good to my family or to myself or to my kids, to my partner. But we all have something good to give, and it's just getting to the other side of that. And families, that's a good point that you raise. I met yesterday with mom and daughter, and the mom was just broken because of her daughter's addiction and not being able to provide the support she wanted to, but didn't have the skills necessary. And so she was so relieved to sit with me and hear that there's supports that can surround her daughter, that give her a little bit of a break. She doesn't have to do everything, because that's a lot of pressure on a family as well.
And what I wanted to go is to mention it, what services you had available for all these people that they needed. And it's free. These services are free.
Yes, our services are free. They're not free for us. We have generous donors. Our town here and beyond is just full of the generosity of people always just blows my mind, as we were talking about all the trades coming and supporting us by fixing up this place for us, and people supporting what we do. And we just operate solely on private funding. So all of the services we provide cost nothing to the women coming to us, because often to see a counselor, in order to go through community services, which is amazing, there's a long wait list. And sometimes if you're waiting too long, things get crazier and crazier, and then you end up going and picking up something to use. So for us, we like to get in there right on the ground floor right away. And so having a free Our therapist is amazing. She does great work with our women. She's been with me right from day one. 10 years ago, we started, and she started alongside of me. So we provide those services. I do a lot of the business support, as far as some women haven't completed grade 12 because they've been out on the street since they were quite young, or been using since they were very young. And so for them, just getting that grade 12 and getting on to some training. So I help with that. I get their resumes together, help them fill those gaps in their resume and understand how to live life without constantly looking back and criticizing themselves. Like, oh, look at my resume. I have these gaps where I went off, and wasn't there for my family, wasn't there to do the things they need to do. So,
and as you mentioned, your son, grab my hand, leave me off. So what we need to do is to love and embrace and not to judge people in that situation, because in that moment, what the most important part for you is that you are suffering because you have that addiction and you are aware of that, but it's an illness. So what we need is the people that love you the most, the people that is around you, support you. So what a better way that to using these services provided for the all the people, the donations that you have. So it's great.
Well, and some of the exciting things that have come out of Life Haven in these 10 years is there are many women, many women that actually have been a part of Life Haven and still are. So one thing about Life Haven is we're creating community. We're not a program where we say you can have 6 sessions of counseling for free. Basically, I have women that have been coming for about 8-9 years as part of our community, have gone back to school, gone to university, have a good job, gotten married, had babies, whatever they've chosen to do. But then life gets tough again and they'll come back and see me, or they'll come back and see our counselor. So there's no cap on this because we're not a program, we're a community of people supporting each other. So when I see the women that have moved on and are peers of mine, some of them are working in recovery houses as counselors now.
Beautiful.
So they, in the strength that they're feeling now, they reach a hand, like we talked about the hand lifting each other up, and they lift up some of their sisters that are struggling. And then when we're struggling as women, reaching our hand out to receive help is part of that, right? So it's this giving and receiving support. And when you're strong in your life, you can give back in ways that you never thought you could. And it's so powerful. I did a podcast recently, and a woman who was a client, still is, but now she's working in, and she did this publicly, so I can share this. She is now working as an intake coordinator for one of our transitional housing for women at risk. And so I refer women to her, and we're peers. We work together. And her and I talk about this. It's amazing. It's this journey of, she has so much to offer, and she always did, but she was just trapped in this cycle that she couldn't seem to get out of on her own. And now she's just an amazing supportive part of our community.
I love it. It's so good that you mentioned that success that your society is having for our community. And I wanted to invite all of you, my friends out there, if you are inspired by this beautiful song for what this society is making and creating that difference, that if you know somebody that is struggling right now, support them, love them, and refer them to the society or the services that we had available. But for today, my friends, it's been amazing to share this afternoon. Thank you, Teresa, for having us. It's a beautiful project, a beautiful society, and for all the new success that are coming, cheers to that.
Thank you so much. And yeah, contact us through lifehaven.ca, and we'd be happy to touch base with you if you know someone who's struggling with addiction, a woman, or if you yourself are. Let me know, and we'll do whatever we can to walk alongside you and support you on your journey.
Yes, every time is a better tomorrow. So continue with us, and thank you for today. Bye-bye.